What is a godly marriage? And what part does sex play in it? Do we even need sex? How does it change with age? How does it change with having babies? Can we bring it back if something should happen and we kind of lose the zing? Let's start with looking at marriage. What is a godly marriage? Marriage is God-given, a voluntary sexual and public union between one man and one woman from different families. It's for the purpose of having kids, having fun, growing together, and serving God together. It started at creation when God said, "Let us make man in our image, male and female, he created them." This is from Genesis. And then we have Jesus in Matthew 19 when asked about divorce, going right back to Genesis 1 and 2. And he says, "Have you not heard that from the beginning they were created male and female? And a man will leave his mother and father and be united and hold fast to his wife, and they will be one flesh." There's a lovely order here. There's this leaving commitment to the wife. There is the cleaving, which is the covenant promise of marriage. And then there's the fun, one flesh of sex. Now, created male and female, there's a beautiful complementarity about it. In Genesis 2, we read, God said, "It is not good for a man to be alone." So he creates a woman suitable for him, suitable to help him to nurture the garden, suitable to stand by him and support him, suitable to have wonderful sex together and make babies in keeping with God's command to be fruitful and multiply. What a good God who made his command to be fun to keep. So, desire was established in the Garden of Eden. See, man, Adam, this perfect creation, when he sees Eve, he says, "This is now bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh." He's so excited. She's like me, but she's different where it matters. Desire in the Garden of Eden. See, in Christian marriages, we serve each other. We serve our children and we serve our church and our community. Let me just go through each of these briefly for you. Firstly, as husband and wife, we serve each other. We serve each other in the kitchen when we help each other, but we also serve each other in the bedroom. The Bible resonates with that naked and no shame joy of sex. The whole of the Song of Songs. In chapter 7, the woman says, "I belong to my beloved and his desire is for me." In Proverbs chapter 5, we read, "May your fountain be blessed. May you rejoice in the wife of your youth, a loving doe, a graceful deer. May her breasts satisfy you always. May you be intoxicated in her love." My friends, this is God speaking to you. And in 1 Corinthians 7, we read, the wife doesn't have authority over her body, but she yields it to her husband. The same way the husband yields his body. See, it's not forced. It's a voluntary, joyous giving of the body to each other. See, sex in marriage is joyous. It is enjoyable. It unites at body and brain and soul level. At brain level, there are chemicals, oxytocin, vasopressin, that bond man and woman together. And in keeping God's command to procreate, it becomes fun. And as parents, we serve our children. You may not have thought of parenting as service, But it is. We are ambassadors of Christ to our children as we give them love and affection, and we affirm them in their identity in Christ, and we set those accountability and authoritative boundaries in their life. In Deuteronomy chapter 6, we read, "These commandments I give you, and they are to be on your heart. Impress them on your children." That is our duty. What about when we look outward? As a family, when we care for each other as husband and wife, and we care for our children as a family, that love reaches out to our church and the world and our society. See, above all, my friends, marriage is modeled on the union of God with His people and Christ on His church. The relationship of a covenant God with His people is portrayed as a husband and a wife. How exciting that is. Your marriage portrays that. May I just give you a few provisos before we finish this segment? We live in a post-Genesis 3 world. Our rejection of God's rule on our lives has marred that perfect image. No spouse can satisfy us now. No spouse can complete us. Only Christ can. Your marriage may not be perfect, but the institution of marriage is close to God's heart. Our marriages show the world a taste of heaven, a blueprint of the eternity that awaits us who belong to Christ. The shape of the gospel where love meets sacrifice. In eternity, we will have no marriage. But while we wait, we have great sex in our marriage.